Hey guys, so I'm sure you see the thumbnail and title, and don't worry, I'm going to explain everything in this video, but we'll do a few little housekeeping things first. There's been a couple releases of IR cards from Heatwave Arena I haven't covered yet. So the Misty Psyduck, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen these. That one came out, and then Ethan's Typhlosion, I think, came out last night. I actually really like both these cards. I think they're both going to be fairly expensive. I don't know if either of them will break $100 and go crazy, but obviously Psyduck with Misty, that's such a great combination. I'm not the biggest fan of the artwork. I think it's a bit weird. I think they were trying to go for like Misty underwater and Psyduck's like above water. It's kind of hard for me to understand fully what's going on, but popular character, popular Pokemon, I'm sure it's going to do all right. And then same thing with Typhlosion, a really popular character. But I like that artwork a lot more. It's more of an action shot. I think it's great. You have Typhlosion, kind of just this massive beastly creature. It looks really good. So I think both of them are going to be fairly expensive, but probably not on the level of something like a Magikarp. Maybe they catch the Groudon in terms of IR pricing, but time will tell. In terms of Destined Rivals, I'm actually, every day that goes by, I'm more pumped for this set. I think it's probably going to have one of the deepest, overall IR counts, or just in terms of popularity, what people view them as. I really like the Misty. Again, like I said, the Typhlosion. You also have the Rapidash in there. Cynthia's Roserade. Like, I think all of those are going to be decently expensive cards. And then in terms of IR or SIR cards, we have Cynthia's Garchomp and we have Ethan's Ho confirmed. Again, we got to see what comes from Glory of Team Rocket, but that's already a very good base of 5 to 6 cards that could potentially carry a set, especially if one of those SIRs pops off and is like $150, $200, which I think is honestly probably pretty realistic considering it's a Ho and also the Garchomp one. Maybe Garchomp's not as popular, but it's great artwork with Cynthia, and depending on pull rates in general, they could be very expensive cards. And then with Glory of Team Rocket, if we get a solid Mewtwo card, which I imagine we're going to, and then whatever else they throw at us in terms of SARs and IR cards, like it really is shaping up to be a great set. I know getting pre-orders in is going to be very difficult, so good luck to you guys. Make sure you have a notification service like PokeNotify or use a free one, whatever. If you do want to use PokeNotify, link in the description down below. Outside of that, there really isn't too much to talk about other than things are continuing to sell out on the Pokemon Center. You guys know a couple days ago, Temporal Forces booster boxes went out. Yesterday, we had the Astral Radiance Build and Battle kits go out. So really, all that's left is the Build and Battle stadiums for Astral Radiance, which I think are going to go very fast. I imagine a lot of game stores, especially in the States, are probably buying these out and just breaking them down to get packs. It's probably the cheapest way to get Astral at this point. And again, Astral's like a pretty solid middle tier Sword and Shield set, so it makes sense why people are buying these. Also, the Morpeko Vinion boxes that have 2 Fusion Strike, 2 Brilliant Stars, those are still in stock. Those will probably go eventually as well, sooner rather than later. You have the Terapagos Ultra Premium Collection still in stock. Those, the price per pack is still fairly high. I think it's like almost $9 Canadian. Probably might even be a little bit higher than $9 Canadian a pack after taxes and shipping, but people are going to end up buying it because there really isn't too much to buy outside of that. You have a couple other collection boxes, and maybe there's like a chest or something else with Sword and Shield inside, but really just not too much left on the Pokemon Center. Again, sad state of affairs. I said that in my Temporal Forces booster box video going out, but it is what it is, guys. We just have to wait for more product to come. And all of this leads into my conversation today about why I'm selling Prismatic Evolutions. Again, I'm not selling all of it. You guys know I have 51 regular ETBs. I have 2 PC ETBs. I have a mini tin display, and I have 2 of the 2-pack blisters that I picked up last week from Walmart. I'm selling the mini tin display. I'm selling both of the 2-pack blisters, and I'm selling 11 regular ETBs. So I'm gonna have 40 left over, and then I'll have my 2 PC ETBs. Now, the reason I'm doing this, and I still just want to say this out front, Prismatic Evolution is going to be one of the best sets in Scarlet and Violet era. I think that these ETBs are going to continue to climb. We've kind of seen them stagnate a little bit around 140, and a lot of that probably has to do with newer products hitting the market, like the booster bundles, those 2-pack blisters. I'm sure those are putting a little dent in the demand for Prismatic, and that is slowing down the ETB growth. But I do think the ETBs in general, just because it has such a great promo, who knows if we're going to get another print run of the ETBs. We haven't seen it with Paldean Fates, 151, Really, the last specialty set that got a huge reprint of ETBs was Crown Zenith back in late 2023. But the reason I'm letting them go is because I have a couple really good connections that I want to reward, and I want to continue to foster a good business relationship with them. I've had a couple people buying from me, and one main person in particular is doing most of the buying. They've been buying from me, before the boom even started. They've been buying a lot of products that I've been picking up, making 20, 30% on things that normally I wouldn't have picked up, but I knew that I would be able to offload them to this person in the future. They have a physical store and they sell a lot of this in their store, and it does much better for them in that type of environment compared to what I can get for them as kind of like an online seller, I guess. I really don't list too much, right? Like a lot of this is long-term holds. But over the past year, I've been able to kind of add in a secondary stream of income, just buying up good deals that I see, products that I think are going to be more valuable in the future. And again, this even started before the boom, right? So obviously it's been really great the past few months being able to buy up a lot of things going out of stock on the Pokemon Center, moving them all along to this guy, making 20, 30, 40%, sometimes even a little bit higher than that. But again, like, outside of that, I was doing it before then, picking up decent deals on Hobbiesville or definitely not 401 games. Where else? Maybe Kansan games. I think I bought a couple smaller things before I stopped buying from them. But point being, I want this person to continue buying from me. And if they're always scratching my back and buying up stuff that I want to move out of, I need to give them some good product as well. So to me, it's worth it to move some of these, even if I think that these are going to be $200 by the end of the year. Before then, who knows? It's worth it for me to lose out on, six, $700 in the short term to foster a relationship that's going to last years, right? Someone really wise once said that if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And that's really just been my mantra over the past couple of years. And most of my life, and why I've probably not been more successful in certain aspects of my life before the past few years, is just because I'm not really great at networking and socializing and relationship building and stuff like that. It's something that I always thought wasn't super worth it. And, I got to an age where I realized it's really important to know people. A lot of people say the cliche, like, your net worth is your network. And, I actually believe that. I really do believe that at this point. Like, the people that you spend the most time with, that you have connections with, that you're able to do things with, that plays a huge role in where you ultimately are going to end up. So for me, it makes perfect sense to move some of this in the short term, to reward someone who's helped me out a ton over the past year or so. And that's basically why I'm selling a lot of my Prismatic Evolutions. And I say a lot. I'm really only moving like 20% of my ETBs. The other 80%, guys, I'm not touching. I'm not going to be selling any more of them. I'm going to be waiting until those are $300-$400. And I don't know. I might move some eventually in the future if I feel the situation is right. But most of those, I really don't want to move anymore, and I won't feel the need to move them. I'm stockpiling a lot of cash at the moment as well. And I'm hoping that I am going to be able to deploy that in the future, later this year. I do think there is eventually going to be a slowdown in the market. I think people are already getting just a bit tired and fatigued by certain prices, and I totally understand it. Really, the only things I'm going to be buying right now are Destin Rivals pre-orders at MSRP or below. So again, like 211 Canadian for a booster box. I would love to get a lot of booster boxes of Destin Rivals. I think it's going to be very difficult. A lot of these stores are putting limits of like 1 or 2 boxes, so it's going to be very difficult to build a large position in Destin Rivals short term. And I really think Destin Rivals is going to be one of the best sets from SV era. Again, it's going to depend on what happens with Glory of Team Rocket, but even just a solid Mewtwo card, a Ho, the Cynthia's Garchomp, and then a few of those IR cards, like, you already have a very strong set that could probably rival or even surpass Surging Sparks and where it's at. Like, I would not be surprised if we get a very good Mewtwo artwork, Rocket's Mewtwo artwork, and that becomes a $400 or $500 card. I could see it happening, guys. Especially in this market right now, it would not surprise me. So depending on what we get, that could end up being the ultimate #1 box that we get in the SV era. So getting any of that at pre-order MSRP pricing, I think, would be great. Outside of that, I'm really paying attention to Walmart and Costco, trying to get MSRP deals on Prismatic, 151 if they restock Paldean Fades, maybe even Crown Zenith and Skyboxes, or even if they put up like the Legendary Warriors premium collections. I would be buying those as well, or collection boxes, whatever it is, right? any of that at MSRP, restocks in Walmart.ca, it makes sense for me to buy that. I'm not going to be paying 180, 190, $200 for some of these booster boxes. Maybe a bit of Paldea Evolved rather, once it gets reprinted, I guess. If the price comes down a little bit, I may consider adding a little more to that. And depending on where Twilight and Surging end up, I might buy a little bit more of that as well. But again, like it really just depends where the prices go. Like if Surging crashed into the low 100s or something, obviously I'd go all in. Even 150, 180, I'd be buying a lot of boxes. 200, I will add a little bit to my position. So again, it's going to depend on what happens in terms of pricing, where everything ends up. But MSRP deals, especially Walmart restocks right now, that's a huge thing. So that's where I'm putting most of my money. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, guys, I'm just trying to build my relationships, and I'm willing to take a small loss in the short term to make sure that I build that relationship up and that it lasts a long time and that it's beneficial for both parties. So that's why I'm selling some of my Prismatic. Hopefully that makes sense. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think, if I'm crazy to do that or not. Let me know what you guys think of these new IR cards coming out too. I really like the Typhlosion. The Misty card, I'm not as big of a fan of, but I'm sure it's going to do well because it's Psyduck and Misty. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.